I'm the man, yeah, I said to kill the bear barehanded so the people won't forget it. Getting money for I would label the drink. I care what a broke nigga think.
Just like the Peck and Lewiz.
Look, everything I do so cold. I can do this, both eyes closed. Too sharp, I stay on my toes. About that guap boy, anything goes. Help the bear if we outside. Help the bear if we outside. Still tipping, baby, nothing changed. I'm still grinding over here, yeah. Still sliding through my own lane. Shorty, nothing funny over here. Dallas rain everywhere around me. Dream to get money. Made it through the storm, living sunny. Dreams came true, now we eating. I got more dreams to chase, gotta reach them. Trying to put a team together like the Hunger Games. Everybody grind together, we all came from hunger pain.
Y'all ready to talk Strange New World? Huh? Are you ready to go to space? Huh? Are you ready to jump into a ship and boldly go? Well, NERD, SOUL, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all them places, hit a thumbs up and get ready to have a good time because this is on screen and I'm not by myself. I got a gentleman right over you. You best believe that. All right. Solar Gray, Cinematic Sorcerer.
What is going on, guys? This is Solar Gray, the Cinematic Sorcerer, coming at you from the Wizard Tower. And yeah, I'm a little casual today. Sometimes I got to show y'all that I own something other than turtlenecks. And it's hot today. But yeah, I'm ready to get into it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready to get into this strange new world, bruh.
Little toasty out here, little toasty. I did want to give a quick shout out to everybody early in the chat, whoever's watching the replay. Good to see y'all sunshiny faces. You know, we, of course, it's a brand new show, you know, so we're going to get into it in a second, but I just want to know how y'all feeling. So, of course, I want to open it up with the poll that we do for all new shows. Do you even like SNW and that Strange New World? Do you even like it? And while you answer that, I want to throw it over to the Cinematic Sorcerer, if you will. Let me know, do you have the feels for this one?
Do I have fears?
Feels.
Well, I'll tell you. I had to really think about that question. Do I like this show? Because, you know, I got to make everything complicated. I can't be like, yeah, I like it, bet. Nah, that ain't a thing. I'm like, why do I feel the way that I feel about this? Do I like it because it's a spinoff of Discovery? Do I not like it because of its connection to Discovery? Is this the main course after an appetizer that wasn't all that with Picard? You know, like what is this show? You see what I mean? That's where my head, you know. And real talk, I gotta say, I had high hopes for this show. Okay, when I saw that it was gonna be the Enterprise crew with Captain Pike, and it was the Captain Pike that we got Discovery Season 2, who, let's just say, does a whole lot better than Blackety Boltagar. But yeah, I gotta say, I have not been let down by this show yet. I have not. This show has, it's promising me Strange New Worlds, a feel of Star Trek the original series with a few modernizations of a couple of things. And it's delivering on that. Like it's Strange New Worlds, but this is kind of really giving us a background to the Federation that I was born into. You know what I mean? Like in the Next Generation, we saw what the flagship does. But Lower Decks gives us sort of the this is what it's like for not the bridge crew type of thing. But this gives us like this show seems like it's a really good iteration on Enterprise.
All right.
Not the founding of the Federation, but the Federation has its feet. But this is still pre-Kirk.
Okay.
So yeah, this gives me that. So I'm into it, man. I'm into it. The first episode was very good. They brought their A game for the pilot. They brought they had to do what every pilot does, which is have some exposition and have some character introduction, you know. But I'm like, I don't see you there. First episode of Next Generation, we didn't get the first officer in that first episode. We had to wait a little bit for number one. And in this one, we had to wait a little bit for number one. But all in all, yeah, this is kind of cool. There's some Easter eggs there for longtime Trekkies, and some real introductions of a lot of characters that were on the original series that really didn't get the spotlight. So I see them fleshing out a lot of older characters that we never actually talked a whole lot about. One in particular that I'm sure we're going to get to on the show.
Yeah. All right. So on my side, I was tepid coming into this. Trepidatious, if you will.
You know, that's one of my favorite words.
Picard did not hit a home run for me. So when this came out, I was like, man, I don't know if I could, like, look, I'm probably not going to review this because I had already said Picard 3, no for me. So turn on Strange New Worlds, and I was like, oh, wonder, adventure, ooh, character, engagement.
What could this be? What is this strange feeling? It's like
it's called fun. We're having fun, and they figure out a way to say, like, yeah, this is old stuff, and I know you've kind of like seen some of this stuff before, but we're gonna remix it a little bit, and we can have some fun out here. And I came away from the first episode excited for what we were gonna get. And in the second episode, I'm still like, okay, we got some good stuff here. Let's roll. So I do got the feels. I like this one. I think, like I said, now that I've seen these first two episodes, I'm gonna continue with it. Star Trek is back. Like, you know, I mean, of course, there might be a misstep here or there, but Star Trek is back for the better. Star Trek is like really firing off on a lot of stuff, and I'm having fun with this. So I'm no notes. Now, of course, I'm sure there's people that have seen every minute of every Trek 5-10 times. I haven't, so that stuff, whatever it might be, doesn't bother me at all. I know what part of TNG that I had to watch because my mom was watching it. I know Deep Space Nine, and after that, I know Discovery and what's new. That's it.
Okay.
And
so you skip Voyager and Enterprise.
And I know
the
there's some people.
Series.
And yeah, I don't know Voyager. I don't know Enterprise. I don't know the original series. And I know people like, well, we're gonna shame you because you haven't watched it. I don't care. I don't care about watching any of that stuff.
And they can walk with that nonsense, all right?
I don't care.
I always tell them I didn't have any control over when my parents got together. Okay.
Yeah. So shouts to Geeky Andre, shouts to Tony Fleming, all up in here. Geeky Andre says Star Trek Strange New Worlds had an excellent premiere and a great second episode. Tony comes through, says, been telling all my friends this is the show to watch if you're a fan of TOS and TNG. Which maybe with that statement, we should cover a little bit of the controversy or controversy, if you will, from this show.
There is some controversy.
Already has some controversy, And this is the
It's
show
not
that I
black and
thought
white.
would
It's
make y'all happy.
Okay.
Y'all wanted plain Cheerios again. Y'all wanted plain Cheerios again, and they said, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Here goes plain Cheerios. And I'm like, this is going to be the one that makes them happy because they can't shut up about Discovery. I know why they can't shut up about it. No matter what kind of hyper-specific, weird critiques they're making, what it really is this is a black show, or it's blacker than we thought it would ever be, and I'm mad about it. Mm-hmm. So what I'm going to do is find these hyper-specific ways. So I'm like, okay, they don't like the black show. They don't like the kids show because they're not kids. Maybe they're into Lower Decks, maybe not because it's comedy. And they're mad at Picard because Picard told them, hey, man, you got homeless people over here, and that's messed up. And hey, look at what y'all doing to black people. That's messed up. And hey, look at what y'all doing to Mexicans. That's messed up. So they mad at that. And I said, well, this one. Oh, but this one. This will be the one that makes them happy because this goes back to what they always want. They said they wanted a plain cheeseburger, nothing extra, all right? And all these other things, it's like a cheeseburger with lettuce and tomato and pickle, or a bacon burger with onion straws, and it's all too much extra, all right? They wanted plain. So I was like, you know what? They're going to be happy. I know they're going to be happy because this goes back to the original. This goes back.
Why would you think that?
This is going to make them happy, all right?
Why would you think that?
Next thing I know, Solar Gray hits me up. He's like, nah, they're unhappy. And I'm like, well, why could they be unhappy? I don't know. They got the old suits. They got the whole crew. When you look at the production photo, it's 3 white people there. So y'all should be very comfortable and very happy. Number 1, white. Captain, white. Spock, Wizite. So y'all should be happy. All right. There's all when you look around, even the woman I believe that's Latinx, she's white, at least in American culture. So y'all, there is enough whiteness. Y'all should be like, cool, all right? Everything, there is no like star character that has even an ounce of pigment, all right? Y'all should be happy. But Solar, tell him what you told me. Tell him what you told me.
Yeah, so these people, and again, see, I ain't on that page of y'all should be happy. Look, we're giving you everything you want. No, we're giving you everything you say you want. But you're only saying this stuff because you're afraid to actually say what you're actually thinking. In the first episode of this show, where they make sort of a forced first contact. All right, they're like, we didn't mean for y'all to get our stuff. You weaponizing it, and you guys are in a war of ideology. Check it out. I'm from Earth, right? And this is what Earth looked like today. But we wasn't always like this. This is what Earth looked like in the past. And it starts, Captain Pike's history starts at January 6th, 2021. Okay, now this is important because we see a whole lot of people.
No, 22?
No, it was 21. It was 21. It's been a year.
Yeah, 21.
It's been a year since the insurrection.
Yeah,
because it happened right before the inauguration. Okay?
Yeah.
And they showed that, and people are going, "Oh, so what are you saying? I'm the fall of American civilization?" No. They're just saying this is a good jumping off point, and it's a relatively close historical reference point. No, I feel attacked. Okay. All right. So you're feeling attacked from this. You get everything out this. Because honestly, what they really want is they want their childhood where they could see themselves in the future, everything be okay, and they're not accountable for anything. But in the words of Ice-T and the legendary Body Count first album, I grew up watching TV too. I see things like The Cosby Show and Different World, where you got all these happy families. But I'm from South Central LA. And unfortunately, it ain't like that. Nobody's life is perfect. Nobody is not accountable for anything. Everybody's got a little something. But these people find themselves really angered when anything that they may identify with that is negative is pointed out in public. Okay, just pointed out in public. It's well, come on, man, I'm doing my best and all this other stuff. It's like, look, man, I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm just defining terms. That's it. I'm like reading the dictionary definition of sexism or racism, and you're feeling attacked. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm just defining a term. That's it. We are saying this happened on this day, and you're feeling, if you feeling a little off, that's you. That ain't Star Trek. That ain't Roddenberry, that ain't the writers, that's you. So they complained a little. I honestly thought though that first episode I liked a lot. We very rarely ever get a main character taking the role as narrator, in the sense of, I see what all you guys are doing and I know where this story goes. Let me show you where this story goes. Boom. This is my world. Boom. We were right there not too long ago, yo. So I'm giving you the chance to skip all that. Skip all that. Join us. Get straight to this part. See this part with all the cool buildings that don't have that many angles and the flying cars. And, but you saying he who has the biggest weapon has the loudest voice. Well, guess what? I got the biggest gun in here. So y'all gonna be listening. Now I'm offering you paradise, but if I leave, you're putting yourself through Dante's Inferno. But here it is. It's everything y'all ever wanted. All y'all got to do is get along, and we'll help you get along. How's that? And I'm like, I felt like the little black kid in Hook, in regards to same way I did with last season of Discovery, when they had to figure out a way to talk to that other species. I'm like the little black kid in Hook going, come on, Star Trek. There you are, Star Trek. You were getting close to Star Wars for a while. There you are. Exploration of space and ideas and morality and possibility versus a future face on what we think the world is right now. And Strange New Worlds really, really delivers on that. And I how I am about aspirational stuff. I'm all about aspirational, not cathartic motivational, but aspirational. I like the, so that's a whole thing. Now this week, okay. Now, number one, shout outs to the actress who plays Cadet Uhura.
Now hold up. You ready to get into the actual review now? You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do this.
All right, then I'll say before we jump to the second episode, I like how they wrapped up the Discovery business. They didn't just start the show like nothing happened.
Nope.
And he's still dealing with the Discovery business. So it's just like in comic books where you see that the asterisk is just like in Fantastic Four 61. You know what I'm saying? Go read
in
that
Discovery
one.
Season 2, Episode 5.
Go buy more. So, and then seeing that
you already got Paramount Plus. Just go look at it.
Then them seeing that, us saving the universe also set off what's going on this planet. And then even him telling Uncle Phil, hey man, it's classified. Yo man, I don't know if I can I can't read you in. All of that stuff coming together like, okay, cool. So we've brought in what we need from Star Trek Discovery. Y'all are definitely making sure that we know this is tied. I love that. I really
love it. Honestly, consequences are real big. Mm-hmm. That's that forced first contact. It's like, we saved the universe.
When you say it's forced, I mean, yes. they were trying to be smooth.
No, I mean, remember, that planet created those warp signature bombs
based on
tech that was lost during that Discovery episode. And I really like that. I really like that whole, this is a pre-warp civilization. They found some of our stuff and they're talking about killing each other with it. All right, we got to do something. This is kind of our fault. This is the reason we're not supposed to interfere. And technically, we didn't interfere. Technically we didn't.
Yeah, we weren't interfering, but it kind of fell over there. So
Yeah. So
now we
oops.
gotta go fix it. So
Yeah, it's it's like when you plan in a house as a kid, you know, technically I didn't break the glass. All I did was trip over the table.
yeah.
That's it. I didn't even touch the glass. I closed the door real hard and the glass fell over. Don't mean you don't get your butt whooped. It just means
true.
you didn't technically break that glass. That wasn't.
It's like
So
I
you
like
got
to
spanked for
interject a
playing.
point.
You didn't get spanked additionally for breaking the glass. See that's
We get to see that even when Pike is like super rustic, he's still getting the ladies. Has no problem with that. I mean, he comes through with the swoop though. Like he has the full swoop, but even without it, he's like, yeah, I still do my thing. Up in the morning, making pancakes and stuff, chilling.
Bruh. You want to talk about who got their hair game on lock? Let's talk Uhura. Okay, that girl must go to sleep in a wave cap every night, just all the way.
Super,
I'm like,
she got to do like 800 brushes a night before she goes to bed, and then like throw the wave cap on, straight spinning.
Seriously. Like I can see like 4 episodes down the line. Captain, we're being hailed. I think the language is going to be a little bit like this. Hang on. Yeah, no. I think it's Klingon, Captain. I'm just.
But yeah, Kevin Jones says, "LOL at Pike being super rusty." Yeah, he is, but he kind of gets it together, and I like that he gets together.
Mm-hmm.
And we meet that crew of like, oh, okay, because see, for me, not watching the original trilogy, and only pretty much knowing of Uhura because of what she meant to Black culture.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because what did Whoopi say? Like the first Black woman that wasn't like washing dishes
Look,
or like
Mama, she
cleaning
ain't no
toilets.
maid. Yeah, she's not a maid.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I still remember to this day, and thank God that Nichelle Nichols is able to see this. But I remember when I was young, my grandma had a Jet magazine with Nichelle Nichols in it. I'm just saying, she was coming with it back in the day. She was coming with it, all right? So she held us down. She held us down with Black excellence, with being on it. She was like, Captain, they said stop. No.
Well,
and she was also looking good, so she wasn't looking dusty. You know what I'm saying? She was looking fresh, clean on the episodes, and she was always on point.
Still is. Still to this day, every single one of her interviews, it's like, all right, Grandma. All right,
Yep.
You know what? I can see Denzel going, hey, girl, I know you're a little older, but maybe you can help me turn these steaks on this grill. But yeah. But like real talk, I'm a fan of the original series. Okay. And if you really want to get caught up with this show, you just have to watch 2 episodes of the original series. And it's called The Menagerie. Okay.
Oh, and so that's an interesting episode.
Well, essentially, Captain Pike lives his last days pretty much with no arms, no legs, burnt to all get out, can't talk. He's literally in a mechanical thing that gives little lights to say yes, no, and ask again. That is his future, okay? And that was based on the episode The Menagerie, where the entire story was Kirk coming to the defense of Captain Pike because of him being held hostage by a psychic alien race and being put in a zoo. So all this stuff that Pike is talking about, this show takes place post that incident. And you had a moment of that on Discovery where he looks into the future, or he's walking down the hallway and he sees that was him. So he knows how he knows how he's going to get amazingly disfigured. He knows it's 10 years down the line, and he knows that if he tries to do something about it, a lot of people are going to die. So this show starts off with him going, that might not happen if I just stay home. Because he's already messed up from his tenure of being a captain. but he's one of the best in the business. So when homie is like, you know, I know you got until the Enterprise comes out of dry dock to decide whether or not you're coming back. I just took it out of dry dock because we got some stuff to do. So get to work. Back. Huh? Yeah. So shave the beard, put the horse back down, and get back to work because you got to find your first officer. You know,
it's like, and I mean, you don't really have a choice because this is essentially the military, sort of.
You can leave Starfleet at any time. You can leave.
Oh, okay,
good. You quit.
And I'll talk a little bit about that statement when we talk about episode 2 some more, because I've always seen it on some kind of like military level stuff, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
And the way they shoot it is awesome. The music is awesome. Bro. It's a great way to come into this episode. And then with the doctors,
the space stuff, like you're talking about the way that they shoot it, took me straight to watching the Enterprise actually move through space. I'm going, I'm so happy we live in the 21st century because that's what's been implied with all the shows. And we got a bit of that in the Next Generation with the Enterprise. We got a lot more of it in Deep Space Nine with the Defiant, and even more of it in Voyager with the Voyager. We don't get a whole lot of that with Discovery because they're like, guess what? Poof. All right, we're in the next place.
Like, poof. All right, we're here.
But watching the Enterprise move, and I like this bridge crew. I really do like this bridge crew. Because when you watch the Menagerie, it actually shows the bridge crew as it stands. And actually, Mrs. Roddenberry, the chick who ended up playing Deanna Troy's mom, was the original first officer of the Enterprise, that actress who was Gene Roddenberry's wife. And I remember watching that as a kid going, hey, who's that brunette in the yellow shirt? Hey, what's going on? And I'm happy they got Rebecca Romijn to play that because she's got the chops to do it. We grew up watching her play Mystique. And it's like, you know what? Her Mystique,
she's still the best Mystique because
there
was another actress that just mailed all the performances in, but I mean Hollywood overhypes her, but so I mean whatever. So
that's a different show. That's a different show. But yeah, I mean the camera work, the music, the casting, and I this week's episode I geeked out a little bit because it focuses on Uhura. But Nichelle Nichols, all right, she was Broadway, and she's primarily a dancer. That is like her number one thing, you know. And so we got Uhura, and in the original show, she sang a little bit, she danced a little bit, you know, that kind of thing. But this one, I'm like, okay, all right, the woman they got to play Uhura, she looks the part and all that stuff. Okay. But this one really focused on, by the way, she sings. And I'm like, I bet you she's Broadway. I bet you she is Broadway. Because, Uhura ain't like Guinan. And Guinan is my favorite character from The Next Generation, ain't gonna lie. But Uhura's got 60-something years. No, it'll be 60 years next year of back history and cultural relevance. You know, so if they're showing Cadet Uhura, I gotta say it, as much as I love Zoe Saldana, wasn't feeling it. You know, really wasn't feeling it in the movies.
I wasn't feeling Zoe for other reasons, but you know, I mean, you know, is what it is.
Well, I was feeling Zachary Quinto. And I'm always feeling Carl Urban. Carl Urban does no wrong in my eye.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really feeling Zoe Saldana.
Shame we couldn't get that Dread show.
Huh?
Remember there was supposed to be a Dread show?
Dread show?
Yeah, the show, because he did that Dread movie, the Judge Dredd movie.
Oh yeah, Judge Dredd.
They were supposed to do a show, and then that kind of just like dropped. But that movie hard hitting.
Yeah, and that. Honestly, that movie has one of the biggest fan bases that are like, where's my sequel? And I'm kind of there too.
Yeah, it's hey man, this was pretty good.
Yeah. So,
But who she? Okay, let me ask you this, because I don't know, because I haven't watched all Trek, but we learned more about her in this one episode than we learned in the whole history of Star Trek, didn't we?
ever. I mean,
I was like, oh, all right, shorty from Kenya, you know what I'm saying, had to go live with her grandma. Then she was like, oh, my grandma was in this, you know, let me try to find myself, this, and the third. And that statement goes to my question about the military thing. Because in my mind, Starfleet has always been essentially kind of like the new military. But when they said that she beat out thousands of applicants, I was like, applicant? I was like, so okay, so it's not like the military? Like,
no. All right. So this is one of the really big debates that have been going on, because you notice people politically, lefties love Star Trek, right wing love Star Trek. Why? Okay. The lefties love the socialist angle, world without money. It's a post-scarcity society, and you just get to live. If you want to be a scientist, be a scientist. If you want to be an archaeologist, be an archaeologist. If you want to learn everything about planet Earth, you can stay on planet Earth and do that your whole life. Okay. Righties are like, this is the biggest, scariest military that there is out there. And it's because of the uniforms, the regimentation, and the weapons. Okay. But here's the thing with Starfleet. All right. Starfleet is the easiest and number one way to travel the galaxy. Okay. They have the most ships. They got the biggest infrastructure. And the ships have weapons. The ships have weapons because the Federation is a whole bunch of planets. But it's still like a gang. Just one gang. All right. And I say that to say, you cool as long as you with your people in your set. But there's always another neighborhood. There's always the Romulans, the Klingons, the pirates, the runners, and they got guns too. You know. But really, Starfleet is really about getting out there and just seeing what's out there and getting more people to join their little cult. It really is like, hey, you have warp technology, you should join the Federation with our laws and our beliefs and all this stuff, because it's better for the greater good. If you say no, you say no. Just don't pull a gun, because if you pull a gun, we will bury you, type of thing. And but with that being said, you got to apply to Starfleet, and just to get into Starfleet, you got to be like top 20 percentile of the applicants, and once you're in, you can be a lifer, you can leave anytime. That's all up to you. And a lot of people don't get in. And that's why I do like that kind of one-to-one with Spock that she had real quick when she was leaving. Even though the old girl with the cool hair made her wear her dress uniform. She was like, got my dress uniform on. Like, open the door, everybody just chilling. Wait, why are you in sweats?
Wearing flip-flops. Because I was like, hold up. She's wearing looking like she's running to 7-Eleven real quick to pick up some juice. And you got on your dress. Nah, You need to change quick.
I like the way Uhura was like, so you're hazing. All right, well, pop the collar. We're going on in. But I gotta say,
go ahead.
That Andorian that was cutting vegetables. I'm like, that was a fun scene.
Yeah,
that was a fun scene.
I do like when Spock was like, hey, if this ain't what you want, maybe you need to get out of the way, because there's people that want to be where you are, and that is something you got to think about too, because like you trying to find yourself can be someone else's like absolute end goal dream. And like you just up in here playing And now, I mean, of course, we know she becomes lieutenant commander. So she stays, she finds a home, they become family, and they go amazing missions and history and blah, blah, blah. But at this point, I can see where Spock is coming from, where it's like, I'm going to just shoot it to you straight. You don't want to be here. There's people that do.
You ain't got to be here.
Yeah, it's like there's people that do want to be here. So,
and you know what I think that is, cool. Though? I think that's us at middle age thinking back to every job we've had when we had that coworker.
Yeah. We're thinking back like, look, man, if you don't want to be here, there's people that do want to be here.
Like, I got a job, I got a stack of job applications this high. So you can do your job, or I can find someone that will. But you're here, so do the job. And I do like the little aside at the end where it was like, you don't know if you want to stay and all that stuff, but I'll tell you this, you're good at this job.
Yeah.
And that was you good at it, you know. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. That's very, very cool. It was funny because I don't know if I'm getting old, savvy, or if I'm just a mark for the writers of Star Trek. Because I'm like, one, the setup for this plot was fantastic. Okay. Yeah. Just straight up, there's a comet heading toward a pre-warp civilization. We can't evacuate them because that violates our non-interference clause. Yep. But we can move the comet. Yeah, we can make sure that they don't die. All right. Let's see what we can do on that. Cool. Now just fire those torpedoes and we go knock the comet out of the way. Boom. And I'm like, why does a comet have shields? Why does the comet have a force field?
Like, I think all of us said that because I heard from someone else that DM'd me that was like, this is how it's fit. And I felt the same way. I was like, oh, okay, cool. We're just going to fix this and go on another mission or something like this. Yeah. And it was like, poof, poof. I was like,
and I'll comets tell you, don't the work dungeon like master that. In me went.
Comets don't work like that. That's
you see,
that's something else.
An energy shield is not a naturally occurring event here. Somebody's got to build that. And a giant space rock don't tend to build its own deflector dishes.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, the chase scene in this episode warmed my heart amazingly. Okay. As a lifelong Star Trek fan and a dude that has a STEM degree, people are always going, man, every time I watch anything in Star Trek, it's like blah, blah, blah through the deflector dish, blah, 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 do the deflector dish, reverse the polarity through the deflector dish, science gag, deflector dish. And I'm like, all right, here's what y'all don't understand.
Do they use deflector dish that much?
Yes. But the thing is, it is the most convenient tool because just because there's no gravity in space does not mean that there is not velocity and mass. And what does that mean? Quick science lesson. All right. A bullet is a rock that goes real fast. That's it. That's all a bullet is. Yet a bullet can tear through a wall. It can tear through flesh. It can tear through machinery. And in space, there's that stuff everywhere. All right. And keep in mind, a 45 caliber bullet is a 45 millimeter rock that just goes real fast. That's it. That's all the 45 is. So these ships have to have deflector dishes because when you're going through space, something gonna hit you, but you are going at such speeds that thing, if it hits just plain piece of metal, is gonna rip that thing apart. And if you don't believe me, stick your head out the window when your friend's driving and don't be wearing glasses and see what happens. You know, that's only 80 miles per hour.
They're also not just rocks. You're talking about rocks that could be the size of a house, could be the size of a building. Like, they're just out there floating. Like, I mean, of course, when we look at space, we look through the telescope, like, oh, look at asteroids. They're like little rocks. But like when you get up there, they're huge. So like, you know, a rock the size of a dump truck, like,
bro, the rock that killed the dinosaurs. The rock that killed the dinosaurs was about the size of a '69 Volkswagen. That's enough to kill a planet. So
yeah, because
ship,
the velocity of that, because that thing. Also, that's another thing. When we kind of interpret space, you see things kind of like floating. It looks like it's floating slow, but that's because there's nothing around it to gauge it. Like for instance,
you are very, very far away.
Yeah. So if like when you watch like a race, like race cars, when they show you that drone shot of like, I like Grand Prix racing. I don't the circle track, it doesn't do anything for me.
It's okay. I like police chases, but it's the same thing.
No, those are very slow. One thing I will say about LA is like, we're on a police chase. He's doing 40. Just like go in front of him. Like just stop him. Why are we watching this for 2 hours? Like, what are you doing? He's going like 30 miles per hour.
OJ was doing 90, bro.
Well, I'm talking about the chases that I've seen this year. Those people were going between 30 and 50 miles per hour. They were not these were not Ferraris that were flying down the street. They were like, it was like a Toyota Prius, and the other one was like a regular SUV. It was
not
nothing
even like
special.
A Civic or anything like that.
It was nothing special. It was not like they were the Acura NSX and they were like weaving through traffic. No, it was like a regular car. I will give props to the one guy, I think at Alhambra or something. He was on a motorcycle, so I give him props. He was actually speeding around. But cars be the slowest. There was one chase at night in like Burbank, and Lisa and I were like, just pull in front of him. Like what? He's right there. Like just pull in front of him. But anyway, like when you see that drone shot, the cars are kind of like, they're moving kind of fast, but they're kind of going through the track. But then when you get that shot on the street or like the actual track, it's like they're like flying, because these cars are doing. You're looking at GT racing. These cars are doing like 170, 180. You know, and then F1 even they're like doing like 212 or something like that. Yeah. Like so you're talking about crazy speeds, but when you look far back, it's like, oh, what are they doing? Like about 60? It's like, no, they're doing 160.
Yeah, exactly. So when you got so in this chase scene that they did, they showed why the shields are there to begin with. The shields are always on. That's what the deflector dish is there for. Because you don't know when you're going to hit a softball size rock. But if you're doing it at impulse speed, which is 1/10 the speed of light. All right. And just to give some perspective, that is fast enough to go to the moon in an hour. Okay. The moon. It takes 2 days to get there now. So if you can get from Earth to the moon in an hour, that's what impulse speed really is. So when they're going through that small asteroid field running from the shepherds, and you got to see the shields going, oop, rock, oop, rock, oop, rock. Yeah. I'm like, thank you, effects.
And shouts to them for doing the Han Solo play of like, all right, let's run into the asteroid field. You know, I was thinking they weren't gonna follow him, but they was like, we ain't scared of no rocks. And shouts to the weird alien, but somehow having like regular Earth beard though. Like the beard game was like normal, and like, oh, this.
They were very Amish. Yeah, those beards were very. They had like that whole Jedediah thing going where they had the beard down there, but no mustache.
Amish beard and like, but the pulsing brain.
Yeah, and I actually do like that saying that. Would you consider yourself a reasonable man, Captain? I'd like to think so. Well, that's good. Here's the thing. This is how it's going to be. I asked if you was reasonable. I didn't say I was. You know? And
then the setup of like, please help us. That was smart. That like, so
that was straight up Captain. I'm like,
that was all
Pike.
Captain. So that was,
look, we are broken. We will not touch the comet. Just get us out of here, please. Yeah. We are sorry we mess with you. Go cut that thing up. We are sorry we mess with you. Don't ask where my Vulcan is. I think he is in the bathroom. You know?
Man, good old Spock. Hey, the way they handled being on the comet with Uhura with the humming and everything, and then finding out they were like a harmonic species. And actually, Prodigy felt, well, no, they were more like a luminary / harmonic species. The one that Prodigy went down and Dow's old, like, I guess, mother figure stole something from them. Yeah. And they had to like bring it back. They were sort of like a harmonic, a luminary species or whatever. Well, but it was like beautiful seeing the lights light up and everything. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was very much an homage to Close Encounters, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And I'm oh, music again. Okay. All right, I'm seeing it. But, all right, where's Richard Dreyfuss?
It was good to get the humming and everything. Like that was awesome because it allowed her to be comfortable. Like her way of like being comfortable also helped her connect with the Mahanit or Mahanit, whatever it is.
Mahanit, yes.
Yeah. So it helped her connect. That was cool. So then we even get into the further philosophical of like, well, we called him a religious zealot, but was he wrong? Because the comet, the Mahanit said this. And said this even before we did the plan, even before we thought. So is there, kind of like
that epilogue. That epilogue now.
What was it? Because a lot of people are like super stuck in science, so like the supernatural does not exist at all, blah blah blah. There's some people that are like supernatural and they're like science is cool, but yeah, the supernatural exists. And it reminded me of when some people were like, oh nah. No way. And I was like, it reminded me of, I think it was Justice League Dark, maybe. It was one of those where Batman didn't believe in demons, and Wonder Woman was like, he's an alien. I'm a guy. This dude can run to the future and the past. Like, you draw the line at demons, and Batman was just like, I guess he was just like, hey, look, gotta draw it somewhere. Like, you
gotta have some line.
You gotta have some, you can't just be like,
yeah, everything's out there.
Like, she pointed to Clark, she was like, he's an alien. I'm a god. This dude Flash can run to the past and the future. Like, you draw the line at demons?
And you draw the line at demons. And well, that's because Batman couldn't draw the line at religion. Because there's a different thing. Because he knows demons. He hangs out with Jason Blood and Etrigan.
So
So and by the way, in 1998, there was an angel on the team. Zariel or Zauliel. Angel, wings, flaming sword, Order of the Eagle. He got there in Justice League #7, where they went against Asmodel from the Order of the Bull. But yeah, it's a thing. But yeah, that epilogue where it was like, so I deciphered the comments language, and it was saying, "Don't worry about it." What? Yeah, it didn't plan on hitting. It was just saying, "No, don't worry about it. We got this." Oh, you're gonna help, which is cool because I figured you were gonna be help. I need you to cut off a little thing here. Just clip these nails, and we're gonna be good.
Yeah, so it was one of those things where it's like, okay, then we see his flight path. So it's like, okay, so we were part of destiny, maybe?
Yeah, you're part of the plan.
Yeah, it's like Mahani was like, oh, cool, y'all are here. All right, now I gotta brain blast your boy real quick, but he ain't gonna die. He gonna be all right.
Yeah, and that goes with that theme of predestination, because the motif of this season is predestination. Captain Pike knowing his future, having experienced his future, and coming to terms with, now what do I do with that knowledge? Do I take actions to change it? Do I go along with it because the good that it'll do? I think I'm gonna get drunk in the dark now.
Can it even be changed, even if I wanted to?
Yeah, and I very much like that. And I did like
Star Trek. Next on Star Trek, Final Destination.
Geeky Andre is here saying Spock pep talks, man. Yeah, the Spock pep talks. Because that whole, all right, look, I'm not good at making you feel good, but here's the thing. You might not think that you are qualified, but you are here. I'm not a linguist. He's unconscious. She punches stuff in the mouth. And our problem is linguistics, which means you are the most qualified person for the job here. It reminded me very much of Starship Troopers. Where every time they got a promotion, it was, I'll take the job until somebody better comes along.
Man, those wartime promotions in Starship Troopers were tough out there.
So even it's like
that movie has like a small piece of like classicness in it. It's like it's not classic, but it kind of is classic.
It is classic.
Would you like to see more?
It's a classic satire. It says, this is what fascism looks like. It happens on bright days, y'all. But yeah, it was very much you're right. You're not the most qualified linguist in Starfleet, but you are the most qualified one here.
Yep.
And I find myself having to remind people of that all the time. Being like, I ain't the best actor. I ain't the best scientist. I ain't the best bass player, but I'm the best one in the room. You can do it. Oh, wait, you can't do that. That is why I am here. Now shut your mouth and stop complaining.
Actually, that's perfect. That's perfect. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. We've been chilling. I ain't gonna hold y'all all day. Sunday, y'all want to kick it. I'm gonna ask you, sir. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts.
Oh, and where can they find you?
Oh well, first I'm gonna give my final thought. This is the type of Star Trek that I grew up on, that I came to love, that made me aspirational for the future, and where I want the franchise to stay. If it stays within this, and with that, I'm talking about exploration, discovery, fun, speculative thoughts about what we could be in a good way versus how we can't be any better than we are right now. I got Star Wars for that. So yeah, I am all in. I'm all in on Strange New Worlds. After that season of Discovery, I was like, all right, Cisco is my captain, but Pike might be tied for first. And so far, I haven't been let down. I have not been let down. And if y'all want to know a little bit more, you can find me on my own YouTube channel at Solar Gray, or you can find me at twitch.tv/BID_P, where we talk about games, aspirations, literary theory, and a whole bunch of other stuff to really complete your geek experience. All right. You get me on that? That is one of the things. So
That's what's up.
Back in the day, complete your geek.
All right. So final thoughts. I'm glad we got this. I love the kind of the journey that we're starting, beginning, and all that jazz. I like the aspirational future. I slightly disagree with Trek staying this way, because we got enough Trek now where I think we could. Well, I'd assume that every crew, every ship doesn't do the same thing. I mean, we still got the black communicators out there, so everybody ain't doing the same thing. But I think we've got some room now, and I trust them now, where Discovery can do this, maybe have some more action. This can maybe explore more. The kids can just be kids, do whatever they want. Lower Decks, they can just screw up everything they come into
and I think that the people and I think that the people that want that militaristic aspect and that Star Trek is supposed to be the biggest bad butts out there, I think Section 13 is going to be for them.
Yeah, I think Section 13 will definitely give them the military, the CIA vibes, the all that good stuff. They'll get their fix there, I assume. But yeah, because even though yes, they're supposed to boldly go and explore with all the ships that they have, and I assume there's more than just like 2 or 3. all of them don't do the same thing. All of them don't serve the same function. So there's other stories to be told.
Discovery is a science ship. Their whole job is to go out there saying, "What does this do?" You know, but not
it
who
was
lives
a science ship.
Yeah, so
it was now,
and now it's whatever they need it to be. You know,
because now they're in the future, and man, it's so awesome. It's so awesome going to the future. But anyway, with that said, I'm gonna leave y'all with that NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, podcast, all that jazz. You want to know why? Because I would love if you hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, share this. You know what I'm saying? We at I think 4K. You know, now then go to 5K, go to 10K, go to 100K. But it starts with you. All right? Open up your phone.
You know, at risk
go
of
into your contact list. No,
at risk of getting to our Southern Baptist roots, I gotta say, look, we know you online all day. You watching them TikToks and them Instagrams. So all you gotta do is, this is nice. This is what I've been watching, and tell your friends. Just be like, this NERDSoul thing is out there, and it's like, this is what I'm watching. This is some insightful commentary from a couple of educated dudes. Check this out there. Oh, that sounds like something that my boy NERDSoul said. Check this out when he's doing that. It doesn't cost you any money. All you're doing is participating in a conversation. You could do that, or you can be in a flame war on somebody's Facebook about how certain people deserve housing and other people don't. Why not help a brother out and do something good and say, you should check out this podcast or check out this YouTube video, instead of trying to explain to that one fool one more time why his feeling is valid, but his calculation on whose fault it is woefully mistaken. Share the positivity. Be like, you know what, you know what, Uncle Weebay, I see what you're saying, and you should check this dude out. Check this dude out.
So yeah, I see what you're saying. Watch this.
Yeah, you know,
just watch this. Don't ask any other questions. Just watch this.
Yeah, seriously.
So
that's all I'm saying.
I'll leave y'all with some black comics, some dope beats. We got some cool stuff coming later for Young Justice at 7 p.m. PST. Much love to all y'all. From us to you, thank you for watching, and peace. We out, but we will not leave you high and dry because of this.
if you can't do it, then maybe you should let someone who can, like me.